recordings, so I always forget to upload them. But if you remind me, I'll upload it. That way you can cut it up and then use that.
I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send a joint. Schedule a joint right now. And did you did one too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Yeah.
You know how we do, shouting. You know how we do, shouting.
That's what we do. Are we on here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on. Let me get in the character. I wasn't even ready. Mini much moosin. me. Yes. Unique New York. You spoon, not fork. Okay, here we go.
60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
What's good? Welcome to UnQuantized Podcast, the number one podcast for producers by producers. Don't worry about it. It's all there. You don't even have to count it. We got it in the bag. I am Sound Oracle. That fellow on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the city, on the other side is Young Trizza over there. What up?
That me.
Yes, indeed. Hold on. Let me get us on this. Let me log in. See where we at.
Bro, I need a drink. I'm about to text. See if you
this
make
week
me a drink, man.
No, this week I'm with it. Last week I was not with it, and I'm already too deep.
I just had to shoot a text. Hey, can you make me a drink and bring it downstairs?
Facts. Young Dance Like Butter, what up?
Dance Like Butter, what up? Yeah, he was going crazy on the video. I log on Instagram. I was like, yo, who was going crazy like this?
I was like, Buttercat? I heard of Battle Cat, but that's Buttercat right there.
Yeah, he was going foolish, bro.
Nah, he was killing. If you don't know what we're talking about, check out Dance Like Butter, man. Go to his Instagram page. He was going full with the new Cassette Instruments. And since somebody said Cassette Instruments, let me tell you exactly what that is.
Yes,
in case you don't know, I released a one-shot kit / ableton pack last week called Cassette Instruments. It's 155 instruments that I made using old cassette decks, old cassette tapes. Every sound has just this own unique formula. You can get it in the wave version. You can get it in the Ableton Live Pack version. And the Ableton Pack, let me tell you, that joint is going crazy.
Yes, sir.
Producers are really rocking with it. It's a rack. It's 8 different racks that function like VST instruments. Each rack has instrument presets, an instrument selector knob, a whole bunch of effects, and also the ability to save your own presets. Not only that, it comes with Grail drums for a limited time. I think it's 97% full with the Grail drums and the introductory price. So I'm guessing by this time tomorrow, everything is going to be gone. So, but shout out to everybody, man, that's been copping it and rocking with it. I had a few goats hit me up about it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But shout out to everybody copping Cassette Instruments.
You know who else had a video that was dope? Beats Music had a video, and he was playing this beat, and it had an instrument from there, and that sound was so crazy. I was like, oh, I definitely gotta. I was like, this one in the first version, whatever sound this was, I ain't hear this one. I need to go back and check this one out.
Oh yeah, it's in the updated version. The shout out to Beats Music, he did kill it, and he picked one of these special sounds, one of the super special sounds out of the pack. So. Yeah, shout out to Beats Music, shout out to Dance Like Butter, and shout out to all the producers that's been going crazy with cassette instruments.
Going crazy. See, Nezero sounds like when you play Sonic or Mega Man, and it's like the boss at the end that you got to defeat. Nezero.
Thanks.
That's what I picture. He says, this is the first time I actually get to catch y'all live instead of my podcast feed. Hey, welcome, my brother.
There it is. What up? I realize a lot of people are like, yo, when they catch us live, they let us know, and I really like that. Because we must be hard to catch, man.
Yeah, man. We out here. Ponzu.
Young Ponzu, another person that's gone super duper ham with the pack. Oh, here you go. The pack is incredible, Oracle. Man, I appreciate it. Ponzu. Focus group member since day 5, I believe. Shout out to Ponzu.
He got it.
Hey, man, Ponzu's a special guy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You already
he's
know.
Cold, bro.
I'm just not finding out.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's cold, bro. I already know.
Yeah, winter's morning face ass. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Ponzu.
Oh, okay. Yes, he says it actually runs with stereo. So it's Nezero. Okay, my bad. Apologies. Bro said add hookah to your studio, it'll be lit. Bro, facts. Do you smoke hookah anymore?
Only at brunch every now and again. And I don't go to brunch a lot. So I might get the hookah in maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
Dog, I've been right. See, I started early before hookah was a thing. Really, I was on the hookah train, and now I'm like, yeah, it's post COVID-y. It's kind of weird. Throws me off. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll be back. Enough Hennessy, I'll be back. I'll be back in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta get loose before you hit one of them joints.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta balance it out. You know what I mean? You can't just be drinking. You gotta balance it with the shisha. You know what I mean?
There you go. Any type of mint. Yeah. Any type of mint joint.
Blue?
Any type of blue. Yeah, there you go. The blue mint.
Come on. That's how you know you've been in Atlanta.
Or mint in it. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's what you're supposed to be on.
Yeah, the peach is for the ladies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's Atlanta 101. You know what I mean?
Come on, dudes. You blue mint or some type of mint. That's what you're rocking with.
Oh, Oracle. I meant to congratulate you, man. You did an achievement.
What'd I do? Wait.
I heard you produced a record. I heard you produced a new Mace disc record.
I'm the one that said more auto-tune on the reference, please.
Bro, Pastor Mace
baptize him in auto-tune.
Pastor Mace on auto-tune trap beats is such a wild thing in 2022. I was like, what is going on here, bro? Why is this happening?
Bro, first of all, I take my credit for that placement. Secondly, bruh, it's so many things wrong with this song. You want to tell the people exactly what we're talking about before we get into it?
I mean, I just heard a very weird Mace song that dropped where he's dissing Diddy, which I feel like this happens like every year. I feel like that would be cool, and then it's a diss song like every year. And I don't know. I don't like my classic rappers jumping on trends.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear 50 Cent 50 Cent might could do. You know what? 50 Cent.
Nah, 50 can get it off.
50, but that's what he can do it. But it's certain artists I just don't want to hear on like drill beats. I don't want to hear that. Like, it's not gonna work. And Mace with auto-tune and trap beats dissing Diddy, it just felt uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know what's going on here, bro. This is weird.
Bruh, I'm gonna tell you everything that's wrong with this in a nutshell. I'm listening to a 30-year-old beef from a 50-year-old dude over a 2-minute-old style. None of this shit adds up, fam.
Yeah.
Bruh, first of all, this beef has been going on for at least 20 years, okay? At this point, if I'm not your lawyer, I don't want to hear about it. I know I understand for you, it's really a big thing, but for people who aren't involved, we kind of tired of hearing about it. I feel like the person you're talking to, he don't even know nothing about it. He like, what? Who did what? Oh yeah, every year he does this. So I feel like Puff ain't paying it no attention. Mace is kind of salty. We as the people, we like a little bit of mess, but at this point it's Kim and Kanye.
Yeah.
And it's like, Mace, call Puff, call the lawyer. Don't call your engineer anymore. Leave him alone.
You know what's tricky? It's like when you produce the records like this, like you ever produce a record that you want to tell people and you need to promo, but also it's not the greatest record to promo.
I got 5 of them.
Bro, those be the awkward ones. Like, all right, I'm just gonna throw the album cover up for a second. I don't wanna say. You don't really say I produced it. You just be like, hey, shout out to this record. Hey.
Yeah. They asked you to promote it, so you're like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. It's in the story. Yeah. It's in the story.
Man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You put that joint out real quick and you kind of archive that joint. Man, you flash that thing like titties at Mardi Gras real quick, and you put them away.
They be like, oh, you producer Mace? Which record? Breeze Stress Shake? No. Been Around the World? No. And
look, it's when you fall to the default. You probably haven't heard
it. The one with auto-tune, just did it. The one did.
You mean the one that came out Friday? Yeah.
You got paid though, right? All right, good.
Yeah. Look, the answer to that might not be what you.
Yeah, as long as you. Yeah, listen, that's true. That's also true.
Who it is, what it is, when it is, you don't know.
Yeah.
The business behind that I wouldn't be surprised at anything I found out about the business behind that.
Oh, bro, this leads me to. So, shout out to my dog Ayo, man. Ayo, the producer, the GOAT.
Oh, Killing it.
He made a post, man. I saw this. I was like, bro, I have to bring this up on the podcast. He says, can we talk about the odds of landing a placement with a major artist as a producer? Forget the artist cutting the song, the access, the chains of approval, the artists, the writers, the A&Rs linking in the first place. Hold on. It's more. Hold on. Oh,
yeah.
Hold on. Let me. Oh, page
that
2.
Man had to make a slide. It's so complicated. It was a slide post.
I hit the wrong slide. That's how you know it was a lot going on. He says, then talk about the odds space of being excited, but not too excited because placements get dropped at any given moment. And don't get started about how long it could take for some producers to get paid while managing everyday living. This, among other things, will be the reasons why I forever clap for every producer trying, let alone winning.
Dog. So true.
Like, that's some real ass.
It's so many things involved in that. And all of those things we talked about on the show individually, right? But I mean, the main thing to take away from that is you can make the beat, you can get the connection, but at a certain point, there's so many things that happen in the process that are totally out of your control that you're literally at the whim of the system, the moods of the people involved, how they feel on that day, how they feel about you, how they feel about your manager, XYZ. It's so many things out of your control. It almost, at a certain point, it feels like gambling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in total control, which is one of the reasons why I like having at least one or two businesses that I'm the only person involved, or I have the final say so, because when it comes to placements, fam, any one of those 9 people in that chain that just for some reason just doesn't mess with this at the time, it could be a wrap.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Me and Oracle was just talking about when you do other business outside of music, you're surprised at how fast it goes.
Yes,
like I'm sure if someone else that never done music before and then they try to do the business side would be so shocked of how slow stuff moves business wise. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, hopefully stuff will start changing. I mean, I'm hoping stuff will get better for producers and songwriters. It's been a lot of like protests and lobbies, and I just don't know where it's gonna go. But of course, we hoping for the best.
I will say, the more people are involved, like physical people are involved with making a change, is where my doubts and reservations come in. But I think the thing that will level the playing field or make it a lot better is going to be some form of technology that someone's going to come up with, to where people won't need certain, like legit won't need certain aspects of this anymore, and they have more control over their future. That's when things will change. But for right now, it's crazy, bro. If A&R number 3 or Homeboy that's next to Homeboy say that that's trash, you might not get your placement.
Yeah, it's like getting that momentum initially now is so difficult. That's why it's so important, like, to try to stand out. I mean, which is hard with everybody competing, but making your sound different, following up with relationships, like this being more detailed. I feel like if you can be more detailed and outwork people, you can get far. It's just most people aren't everybody's gonna do the easy stuff. So if you could do stuff beyond the easy stuff, you'll be good. But it just takes that discipline,
Bruh, I had that a bit of that conversation the other day, and you're gonna see me refer to this conversation a few times during this show. Wednesday, I spent the majority of the day on the phone with No ID. He's a bit of a Yoda type. I won't tell him that to his face. I don't want his head to get any bigger, but no, that's he's really a Yoda type. If anybody that knows him, and we kind of just, bro, we went over to like this whole thing, everything that we're talking about. I'll refer back to this conversation a little bit more in depth, but just know there's going to be a lot of those Yoda conversations coming during this episode. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, no idea. This drink that she made me is very interesting. It's good though, but it's just like,
bruh. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be getting those drinks too. I'm serving myself my own poison today.
Let's see. Did you upgrade the M1 chip for computers and software? What are you using, and is it still necessary? So I ain't gonna front. I do not upgrade my computer. I only talk to my homie Cliff when it comes to Mac stuff. So I only update when he tells me to. And I have an older MacBook. I'm about to cop a new one. So I actually need to look up and see which one is the best one. So I have no idea. I don't know about the M1 chip, I'm gonna be honest. And software wise, I'm always scared to update because if you update too soon, your plugins get wiped out because the compatibility and all that weird stuff.
I'm out of this conversation.
I know. Hey, now that I will say, I feel like I've came a long way since I've gotten a PC. Yeah. I appreciate the PC. The PC got a bad rep for viruses and stuff. It's not as bad as they made it seem. Once you get over that, it's not as bad.
Well, it's funny because, like I said, that was I would say as late as maybe 2004, 2005 type of stigma that PC and Windows never shook, because it hasn't really been that watch out for viruses since around that time. And that's been, what, 10 years, 15 years or something like that? Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot how to say his name again. He told me,
it rhymes with stereo.
Stereo. Okay. He says, and that's why I've been working on growing a YouTube channel, working with up and coming artists directly. Fire. My goals is once we get things moving, placement opportunities will come. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times how it works.
Yeah. Just have a few things moving. That's the thing.
Don't clock on one.
Yeah. Have a few things moving. Definitely don't put all your eggs in one basket. It sounds cliche, but a lot of us don't listen to it. Yeah. Dog, I have a question. And I don't know how many people can actually answer this question. And it's specific to every person. There's a problem that we all go through as producers. You're making a beat, and then your DAW crashes. Horrible problem. We always talk about it. But most DAWs have a crash recovery feature, right? Here's the question, and I want to know who can answer this for their specific DAW. What state does your DAW recover to? Because with my DAW, it's not the same as what the undo history will be. What state does each DAW recover to, and what determines that state? Like, what do you have to do to make it another state if it crashed and open back up to this point?
Yeah, Fruity Loops Fruity Loops, it's got that little backup file thing, and I think it's like major events. I think,
but you got to know what are the major events for your DAW. Like, what determines a major event? Yeah, because I know undo history. If I arm a track and then arm another track, that's an undo history point.
Right.
But I feel like if I crashed somewhere in there, I don't necessarily know that the crash recovery point would be the same as the undo point.
Yeah, the worst ones is like when you be excited that you got the beat back, but then that plugin crashes and it's like that preset resets. Oof. I hate, bro. I'd be so mad, dog. You just close the computer, be like, all right, I'll make beats tomorrow. We done for today. We done.
Yeah, fam, I'm done. I'm super done. But yeah, I just wondered, like, what determines the state that it opens back up to?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm sure it's different for each DAW. So I think what we need to do, what somebody out there needs to do a little research on your specific DAW. And I might come back next week and ask the same question, and we'll see what we found out.
Dope. Beats Music says, I submit to A&Rs and I know and it will hit up once for, I don't know why I can't read it, but big placement.
Good drink.
Yeah. I'm over here, the words is moving like this. I'm really enjoy working with artists that are up and coming, and I'm grateful to be around talent in LA. Man, I look at placements like certain stocks, right? It's like you play the long game for like investing, right? You take a little piece of money, you invest it in, and no matter what, like you're gonna buy a Tesla, whatever, it's the foundation stuff you're gonna buy, and that's gonna be every paycheck or whatever it is, right? Your investment schedule. Yeah. But then every once in a while, you want to YOLO and you want to take some risk, right? Something's down, you think you can catch a lick. To me, that's kind of how placements are. It's like, I'm gonna shoot my shot, but I'm not relying on it. Because if you're relying on it, you're gonna find out quick that you can't do that. You know what I mean? But you always gotta just attempt that shot. And then as long as you do that, you'll catch it. No, when we don't try, we still catch placements. I've had years where
I catch the most placements.
Yeah, I caught 4 or 5 placements and not really trying to catch placements. But a lot of it is just like residual work from the past. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
you know, just knowing people and just being in the right places. So
yeah. Well, it's funny. I heard this week, and I didn't think about it like this. This is also coming from Yoda Face, Young No ID. He's like, so one of the main reasons why we on the phone, he's like, bro, like, you know, just make some more beats. You know, it's always that call with him, and
sure.
I really appreciate that. It's make some more beats and make beats on the thing that you started with that you love. I love it. But he raised a good point. He's like, fam, it's such a great time to get placements now for people that are cut from a certain cloth because the competition is so low now. He was like, think about a while ago, back in the day, however long ago you want to think, it was like superstar producers, superstar, super song, super this, super that. And now most stuff is generally kind of the same or very close. He's like, for people that do other type of stuff or is just really dope at it, this is the best time.
Right.
It's literally no competition out there. And I was like, I never really thought about it like that. Cause I'm like, the bullshit has increased. It's not a lot of competition in terms of like skill for unique type of people, but it's kind of a saturated playing field. And I see the pros and cons of each, but I never thought of his standpoint of competition is low. So if you have a certain skill set, now is your time to really get in. Cause there's certain people that are looking and they can only deal with a certain caliber of producer. And if you happen to be that producer, now is your time. I was like,
that makes sense.
it.
It's kind of like in the NBA, like back when Wilt Chamberlain was around, and it's like he would just dominate everybody because it's like the competition wasn't as good. So if you're skilled at a certain skill set, you could like take advantage of that and like dominate.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like you could be bored, tired, and done with it, or you could just dominate.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, never thought about that. It's a good point.
Yeah, I wonder how much harder. I don't know. There's no way to actually like calculate this, but I wonder how much harder it is to get like a trap placement versus getting like more of a hip hop boom bap or something. You know what I'm saying? Or a pop, because I feel like especially with pop, everything is so crafted. With trap, is like a lot of stuff is just, you know. Oh, you looking for it? It's right here.
Yep. But out of those three genres, I was just thinking about it as we were talking about it, and I feel like we're at a rare point where boom bap is the most eclectic or the most changing out of those genres right now. And I never thought boom bap would be like the most changing genre at any point after 1998. But yeah, pop is kind of what it is. Trap is, while it does change and it has nuances, it kind of is one thing, whereas boom bap is kind of trying to rediscover itself. So it seems like it's just a lot of open lanes in there. Like shout out to Beats Music. He put me on to, was it Contra Coast? Or
bro, he been going crazy. I've been seeing the clips go crazy lately.
Yeah. So prior to like everybody going crazy over them, Beats sent me something about them a little while ago. So I kind of feel like I was ahead of the curve. But like you got people like that. You got Griselda. Boom bap is kind of like changing and flourishing right now. So
see, it's one of those things, right? Okay. It's a tricky thing. Okay. Like at first I was like, it might be easier to get one of those kind of placements, but also it's more trap artists. So it's easier. It's more artists to place them with. In that lane, I don't know if it's that many. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot, but I'm sure the number is different also. I feel like trap, everybody comes in now doing trap music. So it's a surplus of trap artists to where in that lane, it's not as much. So I don't know if it's the supply and demand thing is different. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. So it's more demand for trap because it's more trap artists. Yeah, makes sense.
Wenzel Raps, what up? Young Wenzel LaFleur, Esquire, third.
Coast Contra, yeah. Shout out to Beats, man. Beats put me onto that, and I ain't gonna lie, that joint changed my world. I was like, whoa, what is going on?
See, I only seen the clips of that one guy, so I didn't even know that it's like, is it a group of them?
It's a group. It's 4 of them. it's funny because now that you said that, it's kind of giving me like old leaders of the new school vibes, where it's a group, but Busta Rhymes is like the standout person, and the guy that you're talking about is very much like the Busta Rhymes of the group.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of like watching the leaders of the new school joint, but not for nothing, they are all super fire. But just a lot of groups just have that one member that is a little more animated than others. That's Busta Rhymes and leaders of the new school. That's Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. You know, we've seen it play out time and time again, but they dope, man.
Yeah, I saw Swiss posting them. Tim was posting them. I was like, oh yeah, they about to go crazy now. Time to take advantage of the press.
Yep. Well, they got an album coming out on the 24th, I believe. So,
but yeah. No, I think, man, it's a play in working with smaller artists or bubbling artists. Like even these like TikTok, like say somebody gets one song off TikTok, man, go work with them. Yeah, they got attention now. You know what I mean? Like, so they still might not have it all figured out. They might not have a label super behind them, but hey, they making a little bread. They can invest in their craft. Man, that's a good opportunity. You know, so it's not all about the big placement. Sometimes it's like setting yourself up to be aligned with the right people.
Yeah,
you know.
Fam, I got a take. I don't know if this is necessarily a hot take, but I believe if you're a producer and you're working with an artist on a project, making and finishing whole beats before you give it to the artist is way overrated. And I would argue it's the wrong move.
Oh, yeah.
Man, if you don't make a skeleton, a basic idea, and have the person write the entire thing to that, and then go back in and then produce around that, I feel like if you're not doing that, you're missing the joy and the benefit of being in that situation.
Right.
I had a homeboy that's working with an artist, and he was sending beats, but he's like, I got to finish that. And I'm like, your artist doesn't just write like to the basic idea. He's like, no, they won't accept a beat unless it's not finished. And I'm not here to talk about anybody's situation, but I'm just kind of like, man, I feel like, bro, you're missing out. You have a golden opportunity to make a more well-produced body of work. And I just feel like you're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, it's such a learning experience, bro. That's my favorite part, dog. That's what I like.
Yeah, if I can give you a basic skeleton, a basic beat, or even just a loop or a sample or something, and you can write to that, we're going to make an amazing song. Because I'm going to feed off of everything you did, produce around that, and you might go back in and do something based off of what I did. And now we just got a song that was built off of itself versus me doing my whole thing and then giving it to you and you doing your whole thing. While it can yield a great result, I just feel like that whole back and forth of it, that's the benefit of being in that situation. And I feel like you should take advantage of it, and it makes a much better body of work. I mean, somebody out there could argue me on that. I would love to hear the argument, but I just think that's the right way to go.
I was reading this book this week. I wish I could remember the exact quote in which book. I've been reading 2 books, but basically they were saying, if you're not ashamed of your first version, we waited too long to put it out. And I was like, man, that's really, because he's like, especially like, I mean, music is tricky because you gotta have it done a certain amount of time. You can't work on it afterwards. But like in the creative process, it's like, bro, you got to be kind of ashamed. It's got to be rough so you could take the feedback and criticism and research so you can kind of get to that next point. And I was like, damn, that's kind of, and I think even like how we start doing business, we kind of start leaning more towards that of like not making everything perfect, like making it starting here and then feedback and like doing rounds of stuff and then polishing it up and then releasing it. So,
man, yeah, facts. Anybody in my most recent focus group, and I think Trizzy, you got some early stuff too. You know what the first version of this sounded like versus the final version, and what was there, what wasn't there, and buttons missing, and all this type of stuff. I agree. You should really be embarrassed about your first version. I never thought about it, but the more I think about it, as you said it, I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I heard that. Like, damn, that's a gem. That's one of them ones.
Yeah. I'm always embarrassed about my first version. Always, but I love to put it out because, you know, I always ask the question, and you ask the question too. I'm always like, yo, what's wrong with this?
Yeah, what can I do better?
As embarrassed as I am about the first version, and as tough as that question is, because it just drives a knife into the embarrassment, it gets you to the best version fastest. Like, that's my favorite part. Like, yo, what What's wrong with this? Tell me everything that's wrong with this. Don't tell me anything that's good with it. We at the what's wrong stage.
Right.
And I love it.
Yeah, so even like with albums and stuff, man, like, man, put it together, let people hear it, then, you know, tweak and adjust. No, I love, it's a Neptune's album, not Neptune's, NERD album, right? Their first album, In Search Of, it's a version, bro, that's like the demo version. So it's like all keyboards, and then it's a version that's like studio where they went back and recorded with real guitars. And I love the demo one. But it's cool. Yeah. It's cool being able to see the process and see the difference between them, and like, it's like, oh, this is cool. They put it out like this, and then it's like they had a chance to fix it up. Oh, let me go back, redo it, polish some of this stuff up. But it's debatable which one is better, you know?
Hey, there you go. Yes, sir. Young Fictionalized in the building. She said, "What up, cool
Fiction?
Kids?
What up? What up?
Hey, come sit at our table. You know it's a spot for you."
Young Fiction.
Yes, sir.
Sandman Griffin, what up, bro?
What up? What up? Sandman, I see you've been posting more, man. Shout out to you.
Oracle, he said he got a question about the rack. So he'll hit you after the show.
I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what's going on with it. Funny enough, actually, I'll start to help you here. For anybody that has Ableton, if you ever see that files are missing, and you'll know at the bottom of your screen, you'll see this orange bar. If you click on it, it'll give you a list of basically where to search for the missing files. And that just means that you just put them somewhere where Ableton doesn't recognize it. That's why I always say, when you bring something new into Ableton that you want to use, put it in your Ableton library folder. So when that comes up, all you got to do is check search library. Otherwise, you can click search library and you can find a specific folder. Like if you downloaded something from me, just go to that folder, put that in your search, and it'll find it there. Or you can just search your whole hard drive. So it's pretty easy to find out. But hit me up, I'll give you specifics on that. I love Ableton questions.
Dog, you know what I realized the other day? When you posted pictures with the people from Ableton, I thought Gearhart was his last name. The fact that that's his first name, it's even cooler, bro. I'm like, bro, how does he keep getting cooler now? That's a gangster ass first name, dog. I love it. That's
super gangster, man. And shout out to everybody that's been showing me love on that post too.
All right, yeah. The streets is buzzing about that. I had people hit me about that, like, man, what he working on? I don't know, man.
Listen,
I don't know nothing.
Yeah, phone been jumping. But yeah, when the CEO comes in from Germany and the head of hardware and Creative Push comes in from Philly, it's a pretty big day. Pretty big day. I downplayed it till I looked at the picture. I was like, nah, it's kind of an accomplishment, bro.
I had to turn to that little Uzi meme. I was like, I don't know. It's my third day out here. I don't know. It's my third day out here. I'm like, what Oracle over there? I don't know. This is my third day out here.
Hey man, listen, man. Shout out to those guys for sure. More to come.
We'll see. Dance Like Butter says, or make a custom folder as well. Yes, sir. That is, you can do that.
I put that in the instructions too. When you download the thing, I got a little PDF that just gives a suggestion of where to put stuff. Yep.
You know, these questions, bro, be so good because when you make a product, it's stuff that you assume that people know, or it's like situations that you assume that just like, oh, it's going to work fine. And then somebody else has a completely different experience. And it's like, you would never know until somebody, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's always good to hear that and be able to kind of figure it. Because, bro, I had somebody who was like, yo, I don't know how to install the MIDI. The MIDI's not playing. Right. I'm like, bro, the MIDI doesn't play sounds. That's not how
I drag the MIDI to my sampler and it doesn't do anything.
But it's cool because it's like now I know how to educate that and teach that. It's like I didn't know that was a problem. You know what I mean? But it's cool, man. Being a product maker, it's always the journey.
Dog, yeah. Never a dull moment. I will tell you that.
I know that's probably a little different when you got Ableton and compatibility and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's a little different, but like I said, I know enough about Ableton. I feel like it's not an Ableton question that I don't know the answer to like immediately. Yeah.
Oh, I bet. It's two people. It's like if I had to bet on music theory, if it was a music show, right? When it was like Steve Harvey type shows.
Oh yeah,
it was like guests, and you had to like name stuff. I'm bringing you, and then my brother Brandon. Between us three, we would when Brandon,
me, you and B, man, we racking up, bro.
Any music, hip hop fact, Brandon knows that. B knows that, right? You know
Yeah.
any hip hop technical stuff, and then I feel like I know any weird theme song type. And between us, we would dominate any Jeopardy music related type show.
Oh, we are ready, bro. We going on. Can you beat Shazam? We going on all them joints.
No, I was jealous. Damn, B Cox and JD was on. It was on. Was it Steve Harvey? They was on one of the
Family
shows.
Feud.
Family Feud. I was jealous, but I want to get on one of them shows because I know I would do good, bro.
Bro, can I share a crazy secret? My wife and I, Family Feud aficionados, watch that joint. It comes on every day. Maybe watch it a minimum of every day. And bro, got the strategies down. We always discuss who our teams would be. You've been on my team several times. We always discuss like who it would be. I'm ready. Anybody got that Family Feud plug? I'm ready. We might even have to go up against JD and them.
I've met a lot of like good people and good relationships music wise because I've been the good person to play games at game night.
Yeah.
I'm the person you want on Heads Up, the little phone game. I'm the person you want on the team.
Oh,
I'm that guy. I'm gonna win for the team. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. We are ready.
James Smith says, can you buy Grell drums separately or do you have to buy cassette instruments?
You have to get it with Cassette Instruments. Maybe one day I'll release Grell drums and sell it separately. If there's an interest for it, if enough people hit me up for it, then I may make it separate. But for now, you can only get it with Cassette Instruments, and it might be one of the things that just goes away into the vault forever.
So DL asks an interesting question. He says, okay, what has changed in workstation sounds and sound quality from the Motif and Phantom to current equipment?
The hardware, to be honest with you. If you're talking about a straight equipment then to equipment now comparison, I don't know the answer to that. But if you're talking about equipment then versus music making now, the biggest difference has been it's gone from actual equipment to plugins. So therefore, my answer would be the hardware is what really changed. But workstations of then to workstations of now, I don't know because I don't have many. Yeah, I don't have many workstations that aren't MPCs or samplers.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Same here. I ain't gonna front. I want to buy something, bro. I want a piece of equipment that's fun. I just haven't found anything that I really enjoy, bro. I want to buy
you what
something.
Not to buy. Yeah. I'll tell you what not to get. Not that you were interested in this anyway, but don't order a SP404.
Heartbreak Hotel.
I don't want to cancel my order. I have no reason to cancel my order, except I just feel like when I get it, I'm gonna be like, I did that.
It's like
I'm not gonna be excited.
It's like the girl that played you, like in high school, and then you see at the class reunion, and she want to date you now. It's like, it's kind of too late now. It's kind of you waited a little too long.
Facts.
Yeah, I feel you.
Get away from me. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like that joint's gonna come in the mail, and I'm just gonna leave it in a box for a minute. And I don't want to do that, and I don't like feeling like that. But at this point, I don't even know if I still want it.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like waiting in this generation of like how stuff works with the internet, like that long of a wait for a piece of equipment is crazy, dog. Like if I had to wait months for something that I bought, is like unless it's a Tesla or something, I don't want it.
And it just goes to show I wanted it in the beginning, but now I'm just like it's worn off to where I would just have it. I got a few pieces of equipment that fit that narrative of it's around, it's out, or it's in a box. I have it, but I just don't want it anymore. And I feel like, nope, not gonna want it, bro. Not gonna want it.
I want something that's fun, dog. Maybe I need to get an old MPC. Maybe I need to, you know what I mean? Go old school. Maybe that's the solution. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you looking for workstation, shout out to Ponzu. He told me Kurzweil's coming out with a 2700. Kurzweil was known for the 2500 and the 2600, which were dope workstations, and they had dope samplers, a la more like the more slept on Motif or the more slept on Phantom. They're coming out with a 2700 that they're releasing at NAMM this year, I believe. So if you're into that, then go ahead. I don't know how much they're going to cost, but I do know the old ones cost a pretty penny. I'm not expecting this to be any different.
Yeah, if Ponzu brought it up, it's expensive. Ponzu got a Supreme MPC, so you already know what time he on, dog. Everything's fancy, know. Dog.
And he don't make beats on it without the Supreme gloves on.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He's like
crazy.
He get dressed to make beats. He's like, I gotta match the MPC. Come on,
yeah,
you gotta do it.
So, Ab Brow said, Waves Clarify VX plugin. Do you think it's it would be good for a good plugin to rip vocals? I don't know too much about Clarify. I did see it on their website over the past week. Can't answer your question, but it's going to take me into a whole nother topic. The reason why I was even on Waves website is because I downloaded Cosmos. I don't know who's heard of that. If you haven't heard of it, tell me in the thing, and I'll refresh you. And it led me, as their marketing would do, it led me to buy the Create sampler, which I thought was pretty dope. That sampler it's not bad, bro. Have you tried it or heard it or seen it?
It's so weird because my first thought was, hey, was it an upsell? How did they get you to buy? That was literally my first thought. I ain't think nothing about the plugin. I'm thinking about, hey, how did they get you?
How did they get you? Yeah, that's a good thought, right? Number one, it's only $10. And it works seamlessly with the Cosmos sample finder, which you can use Cosmos with anything. And you could drag out of it and into anything. So the fact that
magnet to free plus shipping,
it worked because like you got this thing and you got this other thing. I don't really need it. Wait, it works seamlessly with this free thing, and it was only $9.99. Offer you can't refuse, right? So they're gonna $9.99 themselves into a nice steak dinner or whatever. So I wasn't mad at the marketing. But more so, I'm not mad at the actual sampler. I've been into a whole bunch of samplers lately. I've checked out Create. I've checked out. I sent you another joint like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember the name of that joint. Check that out. They're all kind of the same thing, but I'm gonna tell you real quick what I like about Create, and I may go back into this later. You could load up multiple samples, which is what Create has in common. The joint that I sent you, they both have that in common over Serato, right? They both have Serato type features. I just like the ability to layer and stack different samples from different places. Yeah, it's dope. With the sample finder, the way the sample finder works is very reminiscent of XO. I forgot. XLN Audio came out with something called XO, which is a sample finder that is almost looks exactly the same. But what's dope is my joint is still scanning. It's been scanning for a few days. I'm up to like 480,000 samples or something like that. There's still a little bit more to go. But just to have something that can take all of that stuff, put it into one searchable place, and you can kind of tag it, and you can search by instrument, you can search by BPM, you can search by key, all of that. It's pretty tight. For $9.99, it's pretty nice.
Now, how much tagging do you have to do? Because that was where
none.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's AI based.
Okay, and it's pretty accurate.
It's accurate enough. I haven't changed anything. You can go in and edit the tags, but I haven't tagged anything. It'll like, it's some tags like soul, dry, acoustic, dark, bright, up, down. Like it's a lot of different tags that it automatically puts on there. And I use it to search like my sample libraries too, like full songs, not just like samples and loops. So it's pretty fire. So if I'm looking for a sample or something I want to rip or flip like a whole song, I can look for a song that's a soul song, electronic samples, might have some brass in it, and it's in the key of F. It can give me everything I have that fits that criteria in one place, which I think is dope.
That's fine.
Yeah, they should cut me a check. I'm gonna stop talking about it, but it's pretty dope. And I'm not gonna do the community a disservice by not talking about it. But yeah, it's pretty dope.
I was about to say something so stupid.
My mind Am I wrong? Because I still want to hear it.
No. I was gonna be like, it's like, my brother, be careful. The AI is trying to take your beats. You can't be a beat star if your beats are made within the stars with the satellites, my brother.
Nah. I'm here for it.
Stay
I like
woke.
it.
Stay woke.
baby.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
A crazy mind.
All right, let's see. Because I know somebody Let's see. Beats Music said something. I actually posted a post today I made with the new kit. I flipped it, Cassette Instruments for the win. Man, I appreciate you. Not for nothing. You sent me that yesterday. It's like, I'm gonna post this tomorrow. You ever do that thing where you're in the bed and you're in the bed with your woman, so you don't want to turn your phone on loud? It was one of them moments. So I was like, damn, I wish I could hear what he's doing. So I'm gonna check it out after the show.
Oh, that's why I pull out the AirPods. Boop.
I left them downstairs, bro. Yeah, that was my bad.
I gotta buy another pair. I didn't destroy. My left one is done for. I'm sad, bro. I gotta go buy another pair. It's one of those things that's never fun to buy it. It's like you always need them, but you don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
It's like a hard drive. It's like a funner hard drive. Hard drives are like no fun. It's like you buy that and it's like you get no joy out of that. It's just like, spend $100.
Yeah, you don't until there's a clutch. I had a clutch the other day. I'm like, oh wait, one of my hard drives is getting full because of the new laptop I got. I have another hard drive hooked up to it. Shout out to Big Nerd. I have a hard drive called Big Nerd. And that joint had an additional 5 gigs of space on it that allowed me to free up the space on my computer. I was like, oh, thank you, Big Nerd. Never cared about you. Never cared about you until right now. You saved the day.
Thanks. See, Wenzel says she got a black MPC Live 2 for sale. Hey, somebody wants a black MPC Live. I don't know if I want an MPC Live, but if someone would like it, hit up Wenzel.
I got a Touch and a 1. And then between the Touch and the 1 is the Live 1 and the Live 2. I don't need either one of those. However, somebody in the community, if you want an MPC, I would check with Wenzel just to see what the price is, because there's no better sequencer. I don't know if you saw my I posted the Jermaine Dupri post. I reposted it. And I wrote in there, regardless of what I use, the MPC, the best sequencer and the best workflow ever. The fastest.
I need to find, I have a video. I don't know if you remember. I have a video of me at Southside and I had the crisscross jump floppy disk and I put it in and they're showing me how they, JD and B Cox are showing me how they did it. I have to find it because he posted that clip and it's like, it reminds me because we're in the same spots and all that. So I'm gonna find that clip and post it up. I'm gonna try to post it up this weekend. Just
please do.
Because man, I was such a geek like watching that joint. This is like, bruh, I'm watching a song that I heard all throughout my childhood. This is the actual floppy disk that it's made out of. It is the something to
sequences.
That. Bro, it's something to that, bro. I do like that tangibleness to that. It's something that's so cool about that I'm gonna kind of miss. It's like, damn,
it's a portable museum, bro.
Yeah. It's like having, this is like a folder on your desktop. Like this piece of thing is this one folder. And it's like, man, that's kind of cool. I mean, storage wise, terrible, but memory and visual wise, great.
Oh, a floppy disk held, I want to get this right, I think 1.44 megabytes.
That's crazy, dog.
Fam. And now think about whole beats were made. Think about how creative you had to be. I started in the floppy age, but I wasn't there for too long before zip drives came out. So that gave you 100 megs, 100, whatever it was, which was a lot. Because in the floppy age, it took 3 discs for me to save one beat, because I put so much in the beat. Like to load up a beat, you put one floppy in, that joint be like, put the next one in, put the next joint in, put the next joint in. I only had to do that for like a year though.
It was like, you load up that beat, you be like, all right, hold on. All right, hold on. Hold on, one more.
Yeah.
That's
hey,
crazy.
I wish Starbucks had been invented at this time, because you all could go to Starbucks.
That's tough.
It's gonna take me a while, fam. It's gonna take me a while.
Yeah. That JD should do more stuff like that, man. I enjoy see
it's history.
Him and Brian. I need to call Brian. I haven't talked to Brian in a minute, but Brian is, to me, is a great teacher and a talker. Like Brian telling stories about music is, to me, is one of the greatest things. Like he knows his shit and he like really enjoys telling stories about stuff that's going on. So I want to see more of that from them. That would be dope. Bro.
Yeah, that was fire, bro. And Brian got all the stories.
Oh yeah,
all of them. Okay, I had a quick topic too. So this week, like I said, Wednesday, all day talking to No ID. And when we talk, it's usually a very deep talk for hours. And it's a lot of questions being asked. So somehow I ended up asking him a question about like how he would define himself or something like that. He gave a list of things that he is. But one of the first things he said was, I'm a beat maker. And he said it so emphatically, like with such pride. I said, hold tight, bro. Not to cut you off on your list. But one of the first things you said was, I'm a beat maker. And you said that with pride, a pride that I haven't heard in years. And then it led me to think about and then talk about how the term beat maker has developed a negative connotation.
That is very true.
You know, if you call someone a beat maker or just say someone's a beat maker, not even like to down them, they will probably respond with something like, I'm more than a beat maker. I'm a producer. And so as I'm asking him about it, that's one of the things I asked him, like, well, you're a producer. We know you're a producer. I'm not even going to ask you if you're a producer. He's like, yeah, I'm a producer, but I had to become a producer. I started off being a beat maker. So we started discussing what a beat maker actually is. And the more we discuss it, the more I'm like, why has such a negative connotation been built around this phrase? It's actually one of the few positions in the song making chain that warrants the credential of a person that actually knows what they're doing. Like for sure. If you can make a beat, that is saying, if you're the beat maker, you have a technical skill. If someone is a producer, and that was the argument when the producer thing first got big, the argument was you didn't make anything on the beat, you know, a la Puff and whoever else people will argue that with. But with a beat maker, that is saying like, no, this person knows their way around a machine. This person knows this and knows that. Why is that such a negative connotation in our community when you could be both?
Well, you know, I remember the switch. I remember the time because I used to get a lot of it, bro, because it comes from the Fruity Loops era, dog. So when people start using Fruity Loops and that was becoming a thing and people was buying beats online, it was like shunned upon. I remember when Ninth Wonder, dog, people was like acting like he wasn't as good as other people because he used Fruity Loops. And it was like a thing to like talk down on him because I think the older people felt like we have this whole process, right? And you guys are disrespecting the process of how we do stuff. Like you guys are shortcutting a lot of it. So you calling yourselves a producer isn't what it is. You're a beat maker. And they use that to kind of shun even though it is, I understand why they kind of did that. But it's like, bro, you got to understand stuff changes, evolution, you know what I mean? But I remember people were like, bro, you're a beat, you don't even really make beats. You're not a producer for real because you use Fruity Loops. You're a beat maker. And that was like how they would talk to him. It's like, bro, I am making beats. That is a part of it, but I am helping with the song too. So I'm a producer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I think that part kind of gets lost in it. I think producer and beat maker gets blended so much and people either don't think of it as two separate things or they don't understand and appreciate that both of them are really hard and like something to appreciate. Like I hate when people say Diddy's not a producer. It's like, dog, that's even if he doesn't play the keyboard, that's a very hard position.
He's the playing. Epitome of a producer. He's not a beat maker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that is where my whole thought process shifts with this is that, okay, so somebody like Diddy, great producer, not a beat maker, not a slight to him, but it's a big up to the people that can make a beat.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people kind of feel like if I'm not a producer, I'm not going to jump out there and say I'm a beat maker and plant that flag and stand on it because I feel like I'm lesser than a producer. It's just kind of a different job and you can be both. But it led me to say to No ID, like, so should there be like a movement to bring pride back to people being beat makers and calling themselves beat makers while you can still be a producer at the same time? And of course, he's like, he felt that pride. I don't know if he's going to like spearhead the movement, but I was definitely like, this is something to talk about on the show on Friday, because beat makers have gotten the term beat maker has gotten a negative connotation when in fact, it should be a badge of honor that says you know your way around these buttons, you know your way around this machine.
Right.
You've been keeping up with technology enough to a certain point that you can do something that 98% of the people in the world can't do. And that title just comes with all that certification. So saying all that to say, if you are a beat maker, you could be a producer too, but if you are a beat maker, be proud of yourself, be happy to be a beat maker, say that you're a beat maker, because saying anything else or feeling ashamed of it doesn't make any sense to me.
You know what the answer is, bro, to that?
What's that?
We need to make another word that's a disrespectful word to people who are trash at making beats.
Ooh.
That people can use that. So producers and beat makers can collab on this word, right? So then it's separate. Come on, man. We split it off again. We make another word so we can reclaim beat makers, and then we can just throw that negativity, what people want, to that certain word. Come on, man. That's how we do it.
I like it. Hey, I like it.
Guys, please don't take me serious.
Nah, I like it.
Somebody's like, yeah, he's dead serious.
This is our whole like business strategy and everything moving forward. I like it.
The rocks. Let's do it.
Yeah,
but no, it is crazy, because I think what it is too is like all the people that I grew up loving, they were beat makers and producers. Yeah. So it's like, I think that's where we got tricked, because I remember going home, bro, and talking to people in my family or like friends that I went to high school with, and they were confused that they didn't realize that the artist didn't write the song. They didn't even know that songwriting was a position for real like that. They just assumed it was just like the artist wrote the song with the person. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, people just don't know.
When people thought that the artist made the beat and wrote the song and performed it.
And it's like you get kind of like twisted off the exceptions of the rule. Like you see Ryan Leslie over here in a full piece suit dancing around playing the congos and making a whole production and sing over it, and you grow up seeing this on YouTube. You like, I guess that's what we all do. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's like when you see like corporate jobs, it's like each little thing is like important. It's like all part of the chain. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it all leads to one big thing.
Yeah. I never thought about that, bro. I never thought that it was a negative term, but it is. I never thought about that. It does get used as a negative term.
That thought had always been in my mind, but it didn't shed light on it until he was describing himself, and he said beat maker, but it was just like the pride and the volume he said it with versus everything else around that, which one could argue were bigger positions or bigger talents than being a beat maker. But I was just like, fam, you said that with such pride, like let's just take it there. So, one day I'm gonna we'll get him to break it down in his own words, but I just thought that was really interesting. And I feel like that's something that's being lost, the pride in being able to make a beat, or the pride in being a beat maker. Because let's think about this too. You can make the beat for a song, but not everybody involved in that situation can take that beat to the artist, get it placed, get the keyboard player on it. That's a producer. Yeah, that's
how to work the room. Like, it's, bro, people don't realize that's a whole art. And it's people who are really good. And everybody that I know that's good at it have a certain type of personality. I feel like I'm decent at it. I'm not the greatest. And I'll be honest, I'm not the greatest at like working the room. But like certain people, like Diego, to me, Diego's good at making beats, but his strongest point is that he knows how to work a room. Like he's a good like people person. He knows how to you know what I mean? Like he gets it. So it's like, to me, that's why he's successful. You know what I'm saying? And all the people that's like kind of like that, I feel like they all do well in that situation. But it's difficult, bro. It's difficult to deal with personalities and stuff all day.
That work in the room and making a deal and all of that type of stuff, that's a whole separate thing that I feel like a lot of people feel like they can do until you see somebody that's really good at it. Like you said, Diego, Polo.
Amazing at it. Polo's the GOAT to me at that. Like, the greatest I've ever seen at working a room in a session.
Yeah, Polo will sell you your own clothes that you're wearing right now. Like, just somehow. And certain people are good at that. And it's not to be ignored, and it's also not to be diminished by saying, a lot of people like, I could do that too. And it may be ignorant because you just never been in that position to try. But fam, not everybody can do that.
And a perfect example of like if people don't understand what we're saying about working the room is that video with Timbaland and Jay-Z. And he's like, man, you don't want no bounce. You don't want no. It's like Tim is talking Cash Money trash to Jay-Z, which is something most people would never do. If dog, 9 times out of 10, if we were in a session with Jay-Z, we gonna be quiet. We gonna be like, what you want to hear? Okay, cool, play. We're not gonna be talking. We're not gonna challenge Jay-Z, but that's Tim being smart and knowing that he could do that with him, and knowing that this is how I'm gonna get him. I'm setting him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you go back and watch it and like you think about it like as a marketing thing of how Tim is setting up to play and like hyping up the records that he's playing, is like, oh man, you ain't ready for this. He'll play it like, nah, this ain't, you ain't ready for this.
No. It's good. I'll move on.
Yeah, you ain't ready. Your mind's not processing this right. I'm gonna go to the next one, right? So it's like he's making you feel like you crazy if you don't get this.
Yeah.
Like I'm on my own wave. You're crazy if you don't understand this. And to me, that's like working the room. That's why I love that clip. That clip is one of my favorites, just because it's like so many great things in one video. It's like Tim's the GOAT. It's like your idol. Jay-Z's the GOAT. So you get to see that. It's marketing. Like, it's marketing. Yeah. All those beats got placed. It's like a Brandy song they play in there. It's a Luda song they play in there. Like, so you know what every song ends up being. And then you see the end product, which is was it Dirt Off Your Shoulder?
Yep.
Goated video.
Facts. And then mad other songs, like you said, you just happen to hear in the process of getting to that point. Incredible. Okay, I got a question and I got a statement. I'm gonna start with the statement first. If you're a producer and you send beats to an artist, I personally, and tell me how you feel about this, I personally do not believe that you have a batch of beats that you only send to one artist and you don't send them to anybody else until you hear from that artist.
Oh, hell no.
I am 1,000,000% against that. And I still see people that are doing that. There's still people out there like, it's mostly not the producer's idea, it's the person they sent them to.
Listen, man,
bro, it costs the person nothing to say, hey, don't send that to anybody. I want to use that. Bro, the hell if I won't. Why would I not send this to somebody? There's no guarantee that you're going to do a song to it. There's no guarantee that if you do a song, we just talked about earlier in the show, the process of a song from its inception or conception until when it makes the album is so much that goes on in the middle of that. There's no chance, like the chances of me making it are against me. So I'm going to send this beat or loop pack, depending on what you are. I'm sending this to multiple people, and whoever gets it first, bids right first or whatever, that's who gets it. So I guess what I'm saying is, because it wasn't going to start as a question, but now it's just kind of going to start as a lesson. If you're a producer out there, do not sit on beats for one particular person because they say that they want it. Unless you got a real super special thing worked out and there's some super special
project or something
going on. Yeah, don't do that, because everybody, when you get to a certain level, everybody will say that to you. Bro, do you know how many artists I'm holding that beat for from 10 years ago?
Oh,
and you bump into these people in those years. You still got that beat?
I got
holding that? Yeah. I got that.
I'm gonna get that joint. But you know what made people spend that money, man? You know what people make? They pull out the checkbook. It's competition. People don't like not getting what they want, and the fact that somebody else wants it, people act quicker. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like, yo, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice if you're only sending your stuff out to one person. It's like, yo, this is my beat until someone pays me my rate. And until I sign that contract. And until then, I'm going to do everything I can.
That one person will keep you on hold rent-free forever. Forever.
Hey, I'm on the point of like, yo, we get as many records cut on the same beat. And then if two people want to do it, we just got to remake. Whoever's second, we got to remake it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
We just going to have to flip it. That's how we're going to have to do it.
Oh, I even got brazen to the point where people don't pick something that I play for them that I think is good for them, I'll just tell them who I'm going to give it to. That's cool. I can just send this to such and such or such and such or such and such.
He just hit me. It's cool.
Yeah.
You good. I got something else for you.
Yo,
and that's when you see that. You see that. No. Play it again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I can send it to this person. I can send it to that person. It's cool.
You want to hear the hook with the such and such did? Maybe y'all can do it. They be like, no.
Don't have something else to it.
I can play the hook. You know what I mean?
I pulled off a collab that way before, though.
Oh yeah. See, and that's the other play, bro. People don't be finessing the hooks, dog.
Yes.
Dog, I'd be selling. Bro, let somebody write a hook. Dog, I'm taking it. Hey, you want a feature? Hey,
two versions.
I got a hook and a second verse, bro. All you got, easy play. All you gotta do is plug it together. Come on.
Hey, insert your radio station name here.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
You plus somebody else.
Easy peasy. Yep. That's pretty dope.
Let's see. I am Abrams says, I think it may be fear of reaction. Like, what are they gonna do if they know you sent something else or someone else?
Same thing that they did already up until this point. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things of like, yeah, you could be worried about that, but also like you gotta look at your best interest. Like, you know what I mean? Like
listen. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you just like cutting yourself short, not taking those shots. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta send them beats out, man. Hey, if anything, Oracle will tell you. And one thing I learned this week is shoot the shot, bro. I threw the Hail Mary pass this week, bro. And hey,
caught in the end zone.
And I caught it, bro. It went crazy. And I did not think I text Oracle for advice. I texted him, was it today or yesterday? Today. I said, Oracle, what advice do you have about this? I don't know why. I know you already know the answers to this. So just, he gave me some pointers. I had a couple other people gave me some pointers. Shot the shot. Bro, hey, it worked. So you gotta shoot the shot, man.
Once again. That's in French. Those are air horns in French in case you
pew pew. Les horns.
Les horns. Les horns times 3. Yeah.
Somebody in France is like mad as hell. Like, man, shut up. Shut up.
Stupid American.
Stupid. What they do?
Yeah, I got a question. A question for the room. What exactly is random too? So put your thinking caps on. What exactly is sample snitching?
Shazam.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm one of those people too. I'm like, yo, don't sample snitch. And we'll get more into it as answers start coming in. But like, don't snitch on people's samples. But saying all that to say, there is a line or a few things that can happen to where you can now start revealing what samples people used, just based off certain criteria. So I just kind of want to know a brief definition. I'll give it a hot second if anybody want to put it in chat, exactly what your definition of sample snitching is. And it's my hope at the end of this to be the first one, or at least the first one I know of, to set some type of definitive definition of what sample snitching is and when it's cool and when it's not cool.
See, I have an idea, but I don't really know, but I have a philosophy, but I don't know if it's right. You know what I'm saying? Because I never really thought about this.
Yeah. So
see, I think it's like the Pharrell rules, right? It's like, hey, if you're not in that lifestyle, hey, this don't apply to you. You know what I'm saying? If you're just a random stranger and you know that that's a David Bowie sample, it's fair game. You know what I mean? But if you're a producer and you comment on somebody else making a Beats video and you're saying, hey, he sampled that,
bruh, I hate that's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that turned me off about beat making videos. Like, bruh, really? You trying to get your I know this education off at at whose expense though? And that's the thing. Oh, really? Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. No, we ain't gonna do that. But Yeah. So let's see what we got in the chat real quick.
Let's see. He said when you tell someone is playing in real time, you see, the live ones would be, I would be mad if I'm on Twitch and somebody over there like, he using Willie Hutch. Shut up.
Yeah. No one ever caught me on the live. I had a few people catch me on the post though. And I'm like, really? That's what we doing? So okay, that's definite. That's a definite answer right there. If they can't afford the license, tell them which sample is used. Okay. So here's my personal definition of what sample snitching is. And shout out to the Ample Samples. Those are my homies.
Hey.
That is the company that I go to when I need a sample cleared. If I ever need a sample cleared and I got any problems, I always reach out to the Ample Samples. That's what they do. They'll get your samples cleared. No questions asked. But they had posted something a couple weeks ago or a week ago, something like that made me even start thinking about this. And here is my definition for when it is okay, when it's not sample snitching, when now it's just common knowledge. If the song is out, if someone does it and the song is out, the person is credited, the producer is credited, then I feel like, okay, you can go ahead and maybe say what you know, or if you're a blog or whatever, you go ahead and post it. Or if it's on like Who Sampled or something like that, like if it's out there and it's correct, because I've seen some things on Who Sampled that are wrong, and I'm like, ooh, I know what the real answer is, but I'm not finna do that. But if it's correct and it's on there, okay, now it's just common knowledge. But that's not important. What's really important is the times when it is wrong. And a lot of you pointed it out. When someone is doing a beat making video and they use a sample, don't be the person in the comments like, oh, that's blah, 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 just to like flex your knowledge of what it is, because you don't know what you're doing for that person. First of all, not everybody in the comments that loves that beat is going to go flip that sample. While to you, that may not be a big deal or whatever, it's not up for you to decide. That's for that person. You are divulging something on behalf of that person that they did not tell you that they want to divulge. So, smart guy, even though you may know everything, you may know where it's from, have enough restraint, be a grown-up to not snitch on somebody else to flex for yourself. Because that's where it really comes from. No one's saying that they know the sample to cause malice to anybody or for any other reason other than to flex their own knowledge. Fam, you got your own channel, you snitch on your own samples. Don't do that to other people. And just like I said, if it's out already, it's cool. If it's not, mind your business. And if it's out and it's known, it's cool. If the song is out and no one else talked about it, it's not on Who Sampled, it's not anywhere, still don't tell. Because that producer may have played the game, chop something up good enough to where they didn't have to claim it, or it's a dangerous game,
bro. But I have a MP3 of one of my a producer interpolating, and if it got out, I guarantee you it would cause issues. It would cause.
I think I've heard this.
It would cause it, and I know this. I would never just promote it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like, bro, why would I do that? I don't know how their clearance situation was at the time. I'm not trying to cause no, like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro,
I'm saying you could be messing with somebody's finances just because you want to flex your knowledge at someone else's expense. Yeah. Fam, mind your business. If you got so much sample knowledge, get your own shit going, but do not snitch on your fellow producers.
It's like that person to be in the movie theater and tell the plot.
Right.
Like, he in the kitchen, you be like, shut up. we know, chill.
It's bro. He a twin. The twin is behind the door. Like, oh, damn it.
Like, damn, bro. I'm trying to have a good time and just enjoy myself. You over here screaming over my popcorn.
Not screaming over my popcorn. Extra butter. No, nobody want that. But yeah, fam.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Let it go, but stop snitching. Sometimes you listen, you don't know. I see beat making videos every day. I know the sample to 99% of the beat making videos I see, but I'm not going to be in the comments like, oh, that's such and such. Oh, you flipped this such and such.
Unless it's like an obvious sample and it's like, oh, you flipped.
Yeah.
Like when someone flips like Poison, it's like, oh, you flipped Poison. It's like,
you killed it.
Yeah, it's like, what other song got that? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, no one's snitching on that one.
Now, what I have done, which is actually boosted my credential, not in a snitching way in the comments, but helped me develop a lot of relationships with people that didn't know my caliber, was to message them separately after the video. Oh, fam, you killed that such and such and such sample. You killed it. That's just me and you. We the only ones that know that.
Yeah, respectful.
And yeah, that person's like, oh shit, you know about such and such and such. Oh yeah, for sure. Let's rap. You know, we could bust this down all day. We could talk about this all day. And that's how I developed a lot of relationships. But don't be the person in that person's comments like snitching on them. You done burning the bridge you never crossed before.
So, you know, my brother, he be making these sample videos. Like he'll show when the sample comes from and they make the transition. People was mad at him at the beginning. Like, oh, you said, but I'm like, dog, the songs are 20 years old. These songs have been out, bro. Like,
his are well known for people in that community.
Yeah, it's like songs. It's like, bro, they've been out, bro. Like, you should know this.
Yeah.
I'm just showing how cool he's showing more of like how cool they chop the sample. It's almost like those like I don't know who makes them those videos. They show the sample and it shows like the waveform and then they take the little pieces.
It's either Vox or
those joints is hard, bro.
Tracklib does it.
They be going crazy with those joints where they show the little pieces and like taking them.
Like, them joints are fire. And not for nothing, I think I remember now having this conversation with Knots. And it started because somebody jumped out there in his comments naming samples. It was either a beat he posted or a beat that I posted, and jumped out there in the comments naming samples, and that led to a whole big conversation. But listen, you can be a smart person, but be a humble person. Don't take money out of somebody else's pocket just to show your knowledge in a comment. You'll suffer for that. Yep. Yes, indeedy. Hold on, let me check the time. Okay. Yeah.
I don't even know. This is the wild. I don't know how I got this. Sir Mix-a-Lot debuted an NFT collection, BitButts, to raise awareness and money for colorectal cancer. Oh wow! I had to make it. Okay, yeah, that okay. All right. I was kind of perplexed, but once it tied all in together and I see what it's for, man, shout out to him, bro. Yeah, shout out to him. That's a big cost. And not for nothing, that's the type of cancer that's more prevalent than most people know. So yeah, shout out to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I was ready to go in there and make a whole bunch of jokes until I found out what the name is. What makes it funny. It's like exactly. But yeah, I get it.
But now he got to do a special verse that starts with "I like bit butts and I cannot lie." Got to do that.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Just change it. Just doctor that one. That one little part. You got it. We don't
want that one. He
NFT remix. No, terrible. Yeah,
that.
Terrible.
Quintendo Power, what up, bro?
Young Quintendo, what up? Hold on, I think I got a few more things to rattle off before we entertain wrapping this up. Sending a sample to people. Diversity being a curse. I don't even want to talk about that. I was going to talk about that. No. Better way to copy and paste in Windows. No, you can look it up. Sample snitching did that. Take pride in being a beat maker did that. Oh no, covered a lot of these, bro. Oh, question here. One more. Are beat makers and producers still looking for deals, or has the entrepreneurial independent train or mindset taken over?
I don't think it will ever go away.
I used to feel like that, but now, not only in this industry, it's in so many industries. The hype, in some cases, the gas of being an entrepreneur and getting it out the mud and building it yourself, while it's 100% true, we are living testaments to that. I just feel like that phenomenon is going to get so big that people no longer weigh the options of what it means to get a deal versus being independent. Like back in the day, it was like, would you rather have a deal or be independent? People were like, yo, I want to take a deal. It was like no thought process. I feel like it's going the opposite way, with it still being no thought process. People like, I want to get it out the mud, make my own, be this, that, and the third. And I just wonder, has that shifted yet? Do most producers want to be independent versus making a deal?
I feel like it's always going to be a factor to when people get to a certain extent, because it's always going to be people who need the money, and it's always going to be people who don't know. So I feel like it's always going to be a lane for people who, I mean, and I don't want to say like it's taking a deal is all bad, but it's like people want that, they won't be able to get that reach. Because to me, a deal is like the system. It's like you're buying a franchise. It's like you're buying the instructions and the system and the connections to make this business work. And so it's like, so it's like, that makes sense. And some people want that system. Some people can't do the system without, like, I see Samuel Griffin, he says I just saw DistroKid and United Masters, which makes sense, but some people don't have the capacity to run that. You know what I'm saying? Some people need that person, that publisher or whatever, but then, I mean, the chances of getting a good publisher, it's a lot of variables, but I still think that there's always going to be people that fall for it. I think it's just the record labels and these publishers are just going to change the game. It's just the game is just going to change, but they're never going to not be a player. But I just think they're going to adapt to whatever's going on and kind of find another way to get in.
If you gave the majority of people a choice, which way do you think they would go?
They're going independent, but maybe it's just the skeptic in me, but the fact that TikTok is getting into the music business, the fact that all of these people are getting the distribution, they see something that's
what I'm saying.
You know
I feel like I feel like the tide is turning. I just want to see if I can identify the point where it shifts, because everything that you just said is the reason why I even brought that up. Yeah,
it's kind of like how, like, when people talk about crypto and being decentralized, but it's like, I get it, but then when all these big companies, when Wells Fargo joins into the crypto space, it's like, doesn't that kind of change the functionality of how all this works? So it's like, I feel like it's the same with the music business. It's like, once these other players get in, it kind of changes how this works. And so for now, we have this independent kind of thing, but then when TikTok and Facebook, they're controlling that avenue of the independence, and then they got the will to be like, okay, I'm going to turn this off or change this at any moment, and most of the people over here, then it gets tricky. You know what I mean? Bro, back at where we started.
That's funny, because that's a whole nother topic right there. You're absolutely right, where people will develop these things for the entrepreneur and the independent artist, but on the other side, later on, they'll also let the labels in. And like you said, damn, now it's the same thing. Like, how is this any different from Spotify, or how is this any different from wherever else I was? It's not,
because it's hard to compete, because they have so much money. They have so much funds to do whatever. It's hard.
It would have to be started by a company or a person. It would have to be a Kanye like individual that's like, they almost have to have something against the labels, so they wouldn't ever let the labels in on the other side. But I just feel like it's a cat and mouse game, to where as an artist, you kind of run, if you running away from that, you want to be 100% independent, you'll run to a place that looks independent, and then you look up 2-3 months later and the labels are there with you, and you run over here and now they let the labels in, now the labels are there with you. It's like, damn, can I ever get out of this?
Because it was like the E40 Master P business model. Too Short is like the out the trunk 3-6 Mafia, and then you start seeing labels adapt for that, right? They start figuring out different ways. Okay, we're gonna start doing more 360s. We're gonna change the distribution. We're gonna start taking money over here, but we're gonna and they adapted to what was going on, and they still ate. They still made it. So that's why I say I don't know if it will ever go away, and there's always gonna be people who's gonna take the deal. And in a way, I understand, because in a way, I mean, they could be beneficial. It's times where they work for people and it works out well.
Oh, definitely.
But it's also times that they work out horribly and it's like bad people. So it's like, I feel like it's always going to be there, bro. It's never going to go away. But I do feel like more people are going to go independent. But then it's like, how long will this independent be independent?
Yeah. And
it gets tricky, bro.
Like, oh, Sony is over here. Oh, man.
Yeah. It's like always something. It was mixtapes, and that was like the new independent. Oof. Then. It was the My Mixtapes days and the
Dat Piff.
Dat Piff. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
It was that
buddy.
era, and that was like the independents, and that's what people were doing. And every time you see the labels come in and adapt, or some rules get. I remember Dat Piff. They like put all kinds of streaming laws and all kinds of stuff happened with that, because I used to make money from Dat Piff, bro. So that's how I know, because I would host DJ mixtapes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
it was like a whole business, bro.
I was able to reach out to people by phone at this time, or by early email, because of stuff I had on Dat Piff with certain artists, and that's how I was able to even reach out to people. Like, oh, I got this song with such and such, where it wasn't on a real joint, but people were able to still hear it. So yeah, shout out to Dat Piff and that whole mixtape era. Yeah. How else could I get Cameron to do a song over an R. Kelly sample that no one had to pay for? Come on, fam.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Shout out to the mixtape days.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I got a video. I'll send it to you. It's one of those, you would have a beat that like got you places. It was like that one beat that's like opened up so many doors. Oh, I had this beat when I first moved to Atlanta, bro, where I sampled Mamma Mia, the musical. And it was like, it'll tell you the time, because it was kind of like a snap beat. It was like it was on that kind of vibe. It had that little bounce, bro. It was like right when I first moved to Atlanta, bro. Somebody posted it as a Facebook memory, right? And I hadn't heard this beat since then, bro. It brought back so many memories, bro. I had 7 people cut the same beat, bro. I had a Young Jock version, and I ended up selling it to a Christian artist, bro, of all people. But he was the first one to pay me.
You know what's funny? Around that very same time at that studio in Baltimore, there was a beat. I don't know who did, me and somebody or something like that. And it was the that Hey Mambo, that Mambo song.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like the same type of like cheesy thing around the same snap period. And just like you said, a million people recorded to
everybody had to cut to that same one.
I used to call that the Beast Least beat, because I finally started getting leases off that beat way back in like 2004 or 5.
Yeah, that was the one. And it's crazy because one of my homies is in that video. I don't even know if I should say he's in the video. I mean, it's not bad. It's not as bad. It's just like we all look young, and it's just like, but he's like a big artist now. He's like in the video. I'm just like, bro, this is so crazy of like the nostalgia. But I just remember that beat, bro, was going crazy in the streets. I remember I was getting meetings like, yeah, I heard that beat. You got some more like that? I was like, yeah. And I remember just being in college, like, yeah, bro. Whew. Yeah.
We're talking MySpace days at this point.
Bro, I made that beat right when I came to Atlanta. I had just moved to Atlanta, and it was like a week within. And I was watching something at college, and they played that song. But when I say that beat it did not age well, dog. It did not age well at all, bro. It sounded like,
yeah, almost nothing from that era aged well.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Those few years, and I'll call them the crunk years, but like outside of even that type of music, just any like urban music from that age, a lot of it didn't age well, bro.
I wonder what is it gonna be now? Like, what's the music that we hear now that's not
gonna age well?
Like, I wonder, are the Yeet beats gonna slap in like 10 years? Because right now they jamming. But
I got them in 5 years being replaced by a Yeet equivalent.
You're not in the Tonka? You're not part of the Yeet game?
No.
I actually kind of like Yeet, man.
No, not yet. I can't say I'm not into it. I can say I'm ignorant to it.
I like Yeet because everything sounds like you're playing Nintendo 64. It's just like all the beats sound like it's like you're playing Sonic with 808s. It's like, yeah, what is going on? Like, where am I?
Into it.
Yeah.
Into it.
Let's see. Ponzu said, I need to hear the Mamma Mia. Bro, I do not want to play it. I hate playing old beats, bro. You know, some people be like, I don't want to play none of them joints.
Not the cheesy Jones. Ooh. Them Jones that got the extra pepper jack. Ooh. No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you, fam. I actually deleted like 5 beats over the last month that I just found like on old hard drives. You know, you say you just never delete anything, especially your history. Man, it's a couple joints. I was like,
no,
you got it.
Yeah, it's sometimes you gotta authorize to delete. You can delete some of them. Don't let people say don't delete anything.
Yeah,
you know when it's that bad. When you feel like maybe I should delete it. This is that bad. You get that feeling in your stomach. You probably should, yeah, those could go. Maybe you should limit it. Maybe you only get 3 deletes like a month.
I don't know. Fam, I went on delete. The embarrassment that I felt from listening to those beats now. I'm like, where's that DEL key? I got two of them on this keyboard. I'm gonna hit one of them, Jones. Yeah, for sure.
So DL asks a very good question. How does a new artist go independent? There are too many people to know and venues to contact. It's impossible without help.
You can be independent and still have help.
Yeah, you can do deals without being locked in.
Yeah, exactly. You hit it. You killed it right there.
So like booking agents, and it's weird because it's like when most people say independent, they mean major. Because most people are signed to a booking agency. Most of these people are signed to a talent agency. Most of these people, so it's like they are independent, but they're not in a way.
A lot of hands in the pot.
Yeah, I mean, that's entertainment, bro. You're gonna have all kinds of managers and all kinds of lawyers, and more venues you get into, it's gonna be more people. Yeah.
I just think there's a line in my mind, at least. I know the world doesn't work like this. We say a lot of things about a lot of different things. This is good, this is bad, but somewhere in there's a line that the majority can agree upon. Like the sample snitching thing. I'm like, there's a line in there, and we need to develop some concrete definitions about a few things that I think will alleviate a lot of confusion we have in this community. If we could just agree on a few certain rules, you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I do agree, because I feel like even you remember when it was the fake like independent record label kind of theme. Like you remember when Chance the Rapper, I forgot what album it was, he put it out, and it was like this. It was through Apple. It's like it's independent, but it's
through a major company. Yeah,
it's like yeah, I'm independent, but I'm also getting distribution through Amazon. It's like, yeah, bro, it's one of the biggest sales. You are technically, but you know what I mean? It's debatable. And it's like, and people are doing that, trying to use the independent thing as like almost like a cool thing at that time. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm independent. It's like all these rappers, I'm independent. I ain't got no label. And it's like, I get it too. But
you got somebody.
At the end of the day, you need money. If you got money, you can figure it out. Basically, to me, labels are venture capitalists. They're looking at, okay, this business is doing well. He's got numbers. We could support him. We could put him with this person, connect him with this. We can make this money 20 times. Yeah. To me, that's what a label is, venture capitalists. You know what I mean? Outside of that, it's like, don't expect much.
Fire. Good one. Wait, real quick. I found something this week. You're gonna appreciate this. It comes with, under the whole thing of deleting stuff. I found a folder I went back to one of the old drives. Bruh, I found all the old HHS joints.
Ooh, the Dark Child.
Timbalicious drums. Dre Mendes.
Ooh.
The Neptune. Bruh, I was so disgusted.
Did you have the snare with the bell from This Is How We Do over top of it?
Oh,
you can hear the game's vocals. It's like, the snare sounds like fresh like.
My human chitlins are aching just thinking about it. Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, my first thought, I never used this drive. This is an old backup drive. I still wanted to delete every single thing on there. Just the fact that I even had this in my possession still, I felt horrible. But instead, I fought that urge. I actually brought it over to a newer drive I still have. I started a whole section on that drive, and it's titled Garbage Museum. Because that is what all of that is. It is producer history. Garbage, though. So yeah, that's in. So now anything I find like that gives me that feeling, I'm just gonna put it in the garbage museum. Yeah. Hip hop history.
Yeah. You're not trying to use the snare with the sexy back bubbles in the back?
Fam, I ain't trying to use
the kick over
I ain't trying to use nothing from none of that stuff. Good God.
The hi-hat's got mad beatbox over top of it. Like,
that's how you know they were bad. While I found, and when I tell you I had all of them, I found all of them. I didn't play a single sound. Not a single sound, bro. I know how bad that is.
Bro,
Garbage Museum coming maybe to a story near you.
Bro, they had like 2 sounds and them whole kits that you could use for real.
Yeah, you
had to chop them joints, like just use that tacker. Them just had mad noise in the background, dog. Like, bro, what is that random Justin Timberlake vocal?
Right, like, wait a minute.
Why is that
here? Is that from Icebox?
Is that a Mario?
I hear Mario dancing in the back of that snare. Like, what is going on? Wait, we had a good question, and it's probably like the last legit question we'll take. It was from DL. DL been coming with all the good questions.
Oh, yeah, he be coming through.
What's the telltale sign of a good entertainment lawyer versus a bad one? That is a very good question. I'll tell you one of the first signs of a bad one. When that entertainment lawyer is also the same entertainment lawyer from the label that is trying to sign you.
Run away.
Bam. When I was 18, 19, I walked into a couple of those. Like, even then, being as green as I was like, but if this is your lawyer, how can this be my lawyer?
Yeah.
Also, so young. No, I'm not beefing, but I'm just asking. Of course, none of those situations, fortunately, none of those situations panned out long enough for me to get burnt by that horrible, horrible decision. But that's how it went back in the day, bro. That.
Or they would hit you with the, I can't do it, but my friend here, he'll do it. But y'all work in the same building. Your office is right here. Yours is right here. It's conflict of interest. Like, I mean, it's so be careful with stuff like that. People will try that too. I've seen it happen a million times. Oh, just use my lawyer. No.
Yeah.
It'll save you money. No.
I don't care about old tactics. One could argue, and I heard people make this argument before, that the old Def Jam, Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin used to pull that. Because you had Def Jam, which is Rick Rubin, then you had Rush Management, which was Russell Simmons, but they were kind of, they were not the same company, but boys, and then that's how that would work out. That's what I heard people raise that argument before.
Even producer agreements sometimes, unless you my homie, we not gonna have the same lawyer, even in agreements.
Nah,
because I need people. I need somebody that's gonna fight for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I need you to be able to bark on somebody. You know what I mean? If it needs to be, you know what I mean? I don't want you to be like, it's my same client. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Get your own representation.
What else? See, I ain't gonna front, bro. I got it lucky because my lawyer, I've known her since we were in college. Like, this is like my dog. So it's like, it's different. Like, I grew up with her. So it's like my peoples. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make sure they just like, they looking over everything. They explain it and everything to you. If they're not like educating you on how this works, like my lawyers, they'll be like, all right, this is what this means. This is what they're trying to, they educate me on how everything is going down. So it's like, they're not doing that, then it's probably not your best. Some people just be like, hey, sign this. This is what they give you, a quick summary. No, you read over it.
I don't looks all right to me. Go sign it.
When they say hearing thou this blah 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 blah, tell me what that means. What that means? If they can't explain it to you,
Do you know what in perpetuity means? Because it's in there a lot,
bro. And they write them contracts to be. I hate how they write them contracts, bro. I'm like, who thought of this? It's like, we're gonna write it in pretty much a different language to annoy you.
Oh yeah, we're gonna give you the Old Testament language, so you're gonna be totally confused.
Who needs more verbs? Bring them on over here.
Right. Latin verbs too.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, I swear my contract, that joint said Pondy River, Pondy Stream in that joint. I was like, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
I don't think that's correct at all.
Yeah, dog. So and just get somebody with a track record, man. Get somebody that's in entertainment. Don't get a paralegal to do music bro. I guess you could. I guess you could, but your chances of doing music label stuff and you don't have a music entertainer, it's gonna go bad. I feel like
100.
Yeah,
100. It is. Don't get your real estate lawyer to do it.
Yeah, I got mad homies. It's like, I've heard so many horror stories of people be like, yo, I got my homie that was a lawyer to do something and wasn't a music lawyer, and it went bad. It went bad.
Yeah. Like, man, I got you a low interest rate on your refi. Like, fam, it's not a house. What are you talking about?
We got you some good rates on insurance. You're like, bro,
what is going on?
Give me some good rates on my publisher. I need 3 points.
Oh, publishing. Oh, I ain't addressed none of that.
Yeah.
None of that. I got the HOA fees waived. I'm sorry. My bad.
I didn't know.
My bad, son. But all right, man. I think we have gemmed it up enough. We have explored our theories and all of that good stuff enough. We're gonna leave a little bit of room, a little cushion for the pushing for our podcast producer. So that means it's time to get up out of here, fam.
What you got this week?
Man, you already know. SoundOracle.net, Cassette Instruments is going crazy. This is probably the last 24 to 48 hours to get Grail drums. That's over 100 drums that comes free with Cassette Instruments. Cassette Instruments comes as either a wave pack or Ableton Live pack, 155 one-shots recorded to cassette tapes using old cassette players. You know how we do. Super unique, perfect, imperfect sound. Hit SoundOracle.net, check it out. But just know, introductory pricing and Grail drums probably going away in the next 24 to 48 hours. So if you haven't jumped on it, please do so. Also, cassette drums contest starting today. Check your email. Hey. What you got going on, fam?
Man, more bounces been going crazy. Still racking up the joints. People been going crazy with that.
Yes, sir.
So if you haven't got to get if you haven't got that, get that. And then I got another pack. It's done. It's been done. I'm just getting that. So the signups for that is gonna be, I have that going probably next week. If you want to get the early exclusive. This one is a sequel to one of the most popular ones. So I feel like people are gonna go crazy. It's very highly requested. So this one's gonna go up. The next few one, because I got one more Oracle soon.
Yes, sir.
I got another one in the tuck, and then I got this one. They going crazy. So I'm excited.
Can't wait. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna ask you because it's the end of the show. I'm not really gonna turn it over to the chat unless the chat want to respond real fast. I'm thinking of starting a brief drums only subscription service. It's gonna be like real low key, not like a whole full-fledged Patreon. It's not even gonna be through Patreon, probably through Sendow. You know what that is.
Sure.
But I think I might just do a drum subscription service because I got a lot of beef with how drums are going on. So yeah, so I think I might do that. So if anybody's hearing this and they think it's a cool idea, just go ahead and hit me. I'm gonna make the drums anyway, just because I've been in that mood. But it's just a matter of how I distribute them from this point on. But
trying to think of a cool name for it. It's gonna come to me.
Other than drum box. Yeah, help me out.
I'm gonna think of something.
Let me know. Otherwise, it's gonna be drum box.
So
bow right on the nose. But listen, man, y'all been great. Thanks for checking in, man. We appreciate it. And like we say every week, it's been